Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please make sure to hit the subscription button, like this video, feel free to comment, share it with your friends. I am Karen Rutan from Karen Rutan Fitness. You can find me on Facebook as well as YouTube at Karen Rutan Fitness. You can email me at KarenRutanFitness@yahoo.com, or you can give me a ring at 330-647-8124. Remember, I am Googleable. You are working out at your own risk from home. Since I'm not in the same room with you, I cannot correct form, I cannot correct technique. You are assuming all risks and liabilities on yourself. Today's video is going to be just short variations of planks. With this being November, one of the locations that I'm at, we're doing a Planksgiving challenge. So it started at the 1st of November. It's going to go all the way to the last day of November, which is the 30th. We're going to be doing planks all week long, and each time it started with 30 seconds, it goes up 5 seconds. So today's November 15th, so we're on day 15. The plank challenge is 1 minute and 10 seconds. If you need that calendar, again, that's on Facebook at Karen Rutan Fitness. You can find the calendar if anyone wants to join in. It's not too late. You can start practicing now. Just make sure that you follow all the directions for posting to win the prize. So I'm just going to go through some planks with you. I'm going to show you a couple variations, and I'm also going to show you modifications for a plank. So the first plank that I'm going to show you is on our elbows. So the most important part about a plank is you want to make sure that your abdominals stay nice and tight to support the spine. You want your whole entire spine in line with one another. We're going to make sure that our shoulders are stacked on top of the elbows. I'm going to use the elbows, and then I'm going to push up onto my toes, and I'm going to hold this, keeping the tummy nice and tight. My nose is pointed down to the floor, so my whole entire spine is in line with one another. Now, if you were doing the plank challenge, you would hold this for 1 minute, 10 seconds. I'm going to also show you how to do a plank on your hands. Now, keep in mind, these are just a couple variations. There are hundreds of different ways to do a plank. So, if you're doing a plank from your hands, you're again going to make sure that the shoulder is stacked on top of the wrist joint. And I'm going to use the pads of my hands to push down into my yoga mat to make sure that I'm not putting all that pressure on the wrist or on the shoulder. A lot of people will complain that their shoulders hurt or their wrists hurt after doing a plank. If you make sure that you're using the pads of your hands, and that's just a little trick I actually learned in yoga. So I'm going to come up onto my toes. I'm going to keep my tummy in line. My butt is down. So this is not a plank. This is not a plank. The whole body has to be in line with one another. Another variation is to go down to the elbows and come back up. So you can do that for however many seconds you desire. I'm also going to show you a side plank. So for the side planks, you're getting that oblique work. Again, I'm going to show you using the hand, and then I'm going to show you using the elbow and some variations of a side plank. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to have my shoulder stacked right on top of the wrist. I'm going to keep the elbow nice and soft, and I'm going to use the pads of my hand. I'm going to take, and I'm going to make sure that my side body is aligned with that elbow. I'm going to use this hand. I'm going to push down. I'm going to bring my hips up, making sure everything is nice and tight, and I'm going to take that arm up. So you're going to feel this side body working, and then I'm going to take it down. So on your hand is going to be a lot harder than on the elbow. So I'm going to give you a variation. You really can't, you don't have to lift this arm up if you don't desire. You can keep it down. This foot here, I have it stacked on top, but you can actually bring it here to kind of support yourself until you get used to actually doing the exercise, or until it becomes a little bit easier for you. So now I'm going to demonstrate from the elbow. So shoulder stacked on top of elbow. You're going to make sure that your whole entire body is aligned, and that tummy is going to stay nice and tight. I have one foot on top of the other. I'm going to lift, and then I'm going to lift my hand. Again, you don't have to lift this hand. You can keep it here. You could add hip dips to that, however you feel comfortable. You're going to do that on both sides. Try to make it even for yourself. So shoulder, elbow, making sure that you're in line, tummy's nice and tight, arm is up or down, whatever you desire. And take it down. So now I'm going to show you a variation of a modification. So if you're using a chair, I would recommend that you put the chair against something to make sure that the chair is not going to move. If you go into a plank on your chair and your chair should happen to slide or fold up or anything, you're going to take a risk of hurting yourself. You could use the couch for this. If you watch my videos on Facebook, we use church pews. You're down a little bit lower. You have a lot of support from the church pew. And I mean, we're at a church, so why not? Okay, so I'm going to push my chair forward. I'm going to use the couch. I'm going to soften my elbows. And just like if you were on the floor, you want to make sure that those shoulders are in line with the elbows and with the wrists. You don't want them out to the side. Now, you can make sure that your whole entire body is aligned with the spine, making sure you don't have to take those heels to the floor. You could keep those heels up as long as you keep your tummy nice and tight. And you could stay here, or you could bring those elbows in and you could take it down a little bit further, just making sure that the butt's not here, the butt's not here, the butt's not here. Because once you start to get tired, you want to dip that butt in. So just make sure that the elbows stay tucked in, elbows in line with shoulders, wrists in line with shoulders. You could also do that against a wall, or you could do it down on a sturdy lower surface. All right, any questions? Put it in the comment box. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thanks, guys.